Welcome to Counter Politics. Thanks for watching. I want to hop right into this. Recently, I attended a Nancy Pelosi Town Hall where I was immediately singled out outside for having a Shahid Buttar button on my book bag, which is her opponent. They immediately accused me of wanting to cause a disturbance, told me I wasn't welcome to come in. I then told them that I wasn't part of his campaign. He's a candidate. I live in his district. I just have a button on my book bag. And I got the whole thing on audio. That once I got in, they followed me around, harassed me, tried to ask me a bunch of questions that were irrelevant, told me I couldn't sit in certain areas, and called the police to escort me out. So this is the entire occurrence. I want to try to make this video as short as possible. There is a lot of dialogue, but everything is transcribed into videos. I found pictures of the staff members who were harassing me. So all of that is, we're going to see. But this first clip is me walking up outside. The security guard, Pelosi's security guard, not the school, Pelosi's security guard came up to me, told me the very first words he said were, "You're not welcome here." And then I turned around because he was behind me. And then we went on to have this discussion right here. I'm not with Shahid's organization.
Oh, okay.
I don't plan on making an interruption. So I don't understand why I, who RSVP'd, can't come in.
Other people have RSVP'd too have posted about making disruptions.
Are they coming with Shahid's campaign?
I don't know what their intentions are. I haven't spoken with them.
Okay. So because I have a button on my bag that says Shahid For Change, a candidate here in the Bay Area.
I'll have to ask you to wait here for a moment. Right.
I need everyone to understand that I have not done anything wrong. I have simply walked up to the building at this point. I had a book bag on, a tripod sticking out. I planned on filming this. This was my first event for my YouTube channel that I was going to film. And he singled me out because of this button. He had told me that I was not able to come in. I told him, you'll see in these next couple videos, that he's just making stuff up, telling me that I can't bring a book bag in when the guy next to us is literally bringing a book bag in as we're standing there. And I call him out on it to his face. That's actually on video. And so he tells me I can't bring my tripod in because you have to be a credentialed press to come in. And again, not part of the laws of our state. So I end up giving into that, put my tripod in the car, and I'll go in. But you'll see through the next couple clips, I'll just play them all in a row. This is all me outside conversing with him. Currently standing outside Abraham Lincoln High School in San Francisco at the gun violence prevention town hall with Nancy Pelosi. And because I have the Shahid sticker on my book bag, or button on my book bag, they have declared me unable to come in. So.
Hello. How are you?
What's up?
Not much. So, glad to have you in, but no camera equipment. The only people that are allowed to bring in camera equipment are credentialed press who have checked in advance. It's for security reasons. So if you have a place where you can leave your tripod, that's fine. Also, the invitation that you received said do not bring in large bags.
I've seen multiple people bring in book bags.
But you received the invitation, correct?
Did I read the stipulation about bringing in large bags? No, I did not.
Yeah. It was in the invitation.
What about that guy? Just to be clear, the guy, he was standing 5 feet from us on the stairs. The security was checking his book bag right then. It was like twice the size of my book bag. It was like a big hiking pack. Yeah.
Yep. We're checking all the bags.
I mean, you can check my bag.
Okay, sure. But the tripod, no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
So apparently they're going to let me in. I have to put my tripod back in the car. But they will let me in. As I just put my tripod back in the car, I'm heading back in now. But I have not been a part of, or have ever been a part of Shahid's campaign. I volunteered for him, support him. And specifically, he said, or the campaign, who I was in contact with earlier, said that the campaign is not coming and has posted multiple times to not come. And then they're saying that they're the only group planning a protest when that's not the case. So All right, so this next video needs a little bit of context. So I walk in, I go through security. The guy's security was cool. Check my ID once you go inside at the table, and then I walk into the event. So I got my book bag on. I walk in, the pretty decent sized auditorium. I walk all the way around trying to figure out where I can sit. Now I am on the staff list. My significant other works at this high school, so I got put on the union staff list through an email from her to her union rep. So I figure out where the staff is by asking a couple of students that are at the school that are helping out with like ushering. And through that conversation, I had mentioned her name. I turn around after them telling me where to go, and the guy who was outside is standing there watching me, like 5 feet from me. And he goes, "Oh, your significant other works at the school. What's their name?" And I was like, "What? Doesn't matter." And he's like, what's their name? I'm like, why? It doesn't matter. So then he gets in a huff and he walks away because I refuse to give in to their bullying. And he walks down the aisle because we're in the back of the auditorium. I walk down the aisle. The students had suggested that I go ask someone in front because they weren't 100% sure where I should sit. So I go and ask one of the, another union member up front, one of the staff members at the school. They told me that the center section is where the staff sits. So I take a seat. That guy watches me sit down. I watch him walk away, talk to these other two guys. They come back. And they both have earpieces in. One looks more like security. The other one's carrying a clipboard. They're talking. They got this piece of paper. They're holding it up over, like in front of me. Oh, like in front, between me and their mouths. So I can't see what they're saying, which I can't read lips. So that was all for optics. And the guy with the clipboard comes over to me. I find out that's the event coordinator, Pelosi's event coordinator, Gary McCoy. So he comes over and tells me that it just immediately makes the assumption that I couldn't be a student there, clearly because I'm definitely too old, but I also couldn't be a parent of a student or a staff member or anybody else that's allowed to sit in the section that I'm in that it's reserved for, which I do. I have emails, which I'm going to go over, showing that I am on the UESF union staff list and that it's the correspondence between my significant other and her union rep. So I have these emails knowing that I'm supposed to be on the list. I also went on Eventbrite and found the event on there as well, RSVP'd on there just to double down. And I sit down in this section. He comes over to me, tells me that immediately, this is for students of the school. Doesn't ask me a question, just assumes I'm not supposed to be there. So it is very clear that this is a concerted effort and organized effort between them to cause me problems and control me because they're afraid that I'm going to make a disturbance, which is not the case. Again, just there to film. So this is, I didn't get any of the audio. My recorder had shut off, accidentally was sitting in my pocket. So when I sat down, I realized that it had shut off, turned it back on, and then he comes over to me, and that's this, this is Gary first talking to me.
This is reserved for the students at the school. I am a significant other of a staff member here, so I was told I could sit in this section.
Okay, what staff member?
I'm on the RSVP list.
What staff member are you on?
I'm on the guest list for the staff.
We don't have you listed as being with the students.
Oh, you don't know what my name is, so...
What's your name?
I'm sorry, so you don't know my name, but then you're telling me that I am not listed for the school, so how would you know that I'm not listed?
All right, so I want to address two things really quick. You will hear hard cuts of audio volume going up and down. It's because the recorder was in my pocket. They were much quieter than I was in the recording, so I just turned the gain up a little bit when they were talking. Some of them do sound like hard cuts, unfortunately, but it just sounds like I spliced the audio up. But I do want to address that. The second thing I want to address is why I'm not giving her name up. I'm not being defiant. I don't want to get her in trouble. I can see that they're already singling me out. I don't want her to get in trouble with her union rep for letting some rogue significant other in there and causing problems. I'm not causing any problems. I know from this email right here that I'm about to show you that my name is on the list. So you can see right here, I'll zoom in, boom. Name right there, Josh Kinder. and then subject line. Boom. You can see that it says your name will be on the UESF list. That's the union. So I have the correspondence between her and the union reps stating that I am on the staff list or should be on the staff list, and that this is the section. And I do ask him in the next couple videos, this is where staff sits, correct? Well, I'm on that staff list. I shouldn't need to give you the name of my significant other because my name is on the list. And then I ask repeatedly, show me the list. If you think I'm not on the list, can I see the list? Because I have legitimate proof to believe that I'm allowed to sit in this section. And if you're just going to vaguely tell me that I'm not on the list without any proof, I'm not going to move, especially after all the bullying that you've just put me through. You're really just singling me out. So I go through this whole process with them. It does get a little crazy. They do call the cops at the very end because I refuse to move. I stay calm. I am not combative in any way. They get extremely hostile with me. I keep my cool. But luckily I had my audio recording going on the whole time. So here is the next situation that I get in with Gary.
You'll need to go to another section. You can't be in this section.
But I can be in this session because I am on the guest list.
You are not on this guest list.
I 100% am.
You are not. What is your name?
Joshua Kinder.
Okay.
You're going to look real funny in a second. I actually can show you.
All right, so I do start to get a little annoyed and irritated, and at this point it's almost kind of comical how combative he's being and how with such fervor he demands I move. I mean, it's just it's comical because I haven't done anything wrong and I'm showing him proof that I've done it. So that I deserve to sit there. So after that clip, he walks away. He goes over to the front, down across in front of the stage where the union rep is sitting or standing with her clipboard. They talk. They're going through the clipboard. She's going through her phone. He ends up coming back, and then this happens.
You are not listed as a student on our list, so you cannot be in this section.
This is. I'm sorry, is staff members sitting in this section?
Staff members are listed, and you're not listed as being with one. There is no affiliation next to
Yeah,
your
it's
name.
because I also RSVP'd on Eventbrite.
There is no affiliation under your name, so you cannot be in this seat.
I have. Where's the guest list for the staff?
We'll have you removed.
Where's the guest list for the staff?
The staff are part of this guest list, and their names are listed as United Educators or student or faculty. That is not next to your name. You cannot be there.
Because I have.
Continue arguing.
I have proof. I have proof right here.
More than welcome to leave.
I have proof right here. Your name will be on the UESF list, and that is my name right there.
Okay, well, I don't have that next to your name as a name that they submitted today. So we cannot have you
This
sitting
was submitted yesterday.
The names that I received from them, I got from them today. And
So you're saying that if I would have came with my partner, that
I'm not arguing. So I'm going to go have someone remove you if you won't move to another section.
because I'm supposed to be allowed in the seat?
I'm staffing this event. I'm telling you, you are not here as a student or a faculty member.
But
you may be a partner from staff or a faculty member.
My name is literally on
Your name is on an email. I'm telling you, next to your name.
Is that the union rep?
Yes.
Is that the union rep?
Yes.
And that's my name right there, Joshua Kinder, and says your name will be on the
Fine. I'm going to ask you to leave.
We have the first two rows, not backup. So you would be in the first two rows. It's for UESF, correct?
But he's not listed as that.
Okay, but I literally have an email from the union rep.
He has it. I'm down there.
No, I'm on the UESF list. Thank you.
So I really appreciated her trying to help. She actually knows my significant other. I described her when I got home, and she was like, oh, I know her. So she was sitting a few rows in front. She saw the debacle came back. She didn't realize that he had already talked to the union rep, who we'll get to meet in a little bit. But she brings him over, Gary, over to the union rep. And as she's walking back to her seat, I just thank her. So that's this.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so this next video is Gary comes back from talking to the union rep a second time. He tells me I have one of two options. I can either be escorted out or move to another section. I'm not having it. He still has yet to show me any proof. Though he gets mad about that and walks away. The woman that's standing behind us in the aisle, who we have not met yet, randomly just comes up and asks me what's going on. She does get a little snarky with me about Shahid Buttar because I stumble through this horrible explanation of what's going on. I'm really flustered at this point, wondering if I'm about to get dragged out by the police. And then eventually we get interrupted by Gary telling me that I have to go. He brings security over. The security guard doesn't have a bias against me, so I win her over with logic, showing her the emails, and she refuses to remove me, which I think is funny, but it just shows how easily their theory is debunked because the security guard is on my side about this. And then we see the union rep. Gary had walked away because the security guard option failed. The union rep walks over, or in our direction. I call her over. She gets snarky with me. It's really crazy. I mean, you can hear I keep my cool, but it gets wild. So here's that whole debacle.
So I'm not arguing and I'm not debating. You can either go to another section or you're going to have to leave the event. And that's the two options.
So I wasn't on the
That's
list?
the two options.
Was I on the list?
That is the two options.
I was on the list, wasn't I?
I was just curious. Is there some sort of problem?
Yeah, I walked in with I had a button for Shahid Buttar, who is Nancy Pelosi's opponent in the race. And I have been demonized, literally. I've done nothing wrong since I've been here. But I walked in, and I came in with a tripod. I was going to film stuff. I was actually going to ask people who are going to hear. Huh?
I think they weren't allowed back then.
Oh, there's been plenty of people walking in with that while I was outside, and they checked it and everything.
Yeah.
But it was the tripod. But it was the button that pissed them off. And then they were like, "Oh, you can't bring a tripod in here." And I'm like, "All right, well, that's fine. I'll go put it in my car." So I went and put it in my car, and then I came back in here, and he literally said, so he gave me a bunch of shit outside about it, and I was like, "No, I have an RSVP. I actually have two. I RSVP'd on Eventbrite, and my significant other works at this school. I'm actually faculty in the reserved for the faculty seating, and this guy is causing me issues because the other, I've just been literally demonized as I walked in here. I was trying to figure out where the seating was for the faculty, and
So you have to go.
Yeah, sorry, you have to.
am I not on the list though? Because I am, and I literally have been demonized because I have a Shahid button on here, and he's been trying to kick me out for no reason.
Not on my list, so you have to
But
go.
I'm on the other list though, the guest list.
On my list is being in this section, and you're arguing
So
with me.
should I be in that section?
End of discussion, you have to go.
So should I be in that section though? You're not giving me the options that are technically my options.
You wanted to argue about it.
But you're not the dictator. I don't understand why you think you are.
They just checked it, but your name was not there.
On that list?
Your name is not there.
Your name is not listed here, and you're arguing with me.
Was I listed for the front two? Was I listed for the front two?
That's what I'm explaining.
I have, look at,
You just have to.
Your name is not there.
look at. It says right here.
I can hear other people. We already checked it there. Mine is sometimes.
Look at, that is right there. That is the name of the union rep. And it has my name right there in the title, Josh Kinder, and says your name will be on the UESF list.
We only check it there. It's not there.
I would like to see the list if I'm going to be asked to remove. I have every right to be here.
You do not. You need to go this way.
Yes, I do. You see the hostility. I'm not trying to be hostile. I'm not trying to be hostile at all.
Because it's not like.
But he's mad because of this. Because they stopped me outside because of this and told me I couldn't come in. I'm not even part of his campaign. I'm just a supporter. I just have this on my. I go to college. This is like my bag that I use for my college. I put my film stuff in it.
But we check it, but their name is. And we are doing our job, sir.
I understand that, but if you
No,
show
everybody
me
is doing our
the
job.
guest list that was made from the union rep and my name's not on it, I will leave right now.
Your name is not there. We already check it.
But it was put on there. guy the union rep?
He's not telling lies.
But he is, though. Like, I literally have the email about it. I don't understand.
Maybe something wrong, but it's not in the list. It's not there.
So, but why am I met with hostility, though? That's what I don't understand. Why am I met with hostility? Because there's no if I'm sitting in the wrong section and my name's not on the right list. I'm sorry, ma'am.
The other check it's not listed.
I want to show you my email.
Sorry, we need to call someone else, please.
I want to show you my email from the union rep. From the union rep. Look it. That is the union rep, correct? Is that the union rep? Is that the union rep?
That is me, and they're in charge.
Look it. My name right here is in the subtitle. It is in the subject right here, Josh Kinder, and it says your name will be on the UESF list. I'm not causing any issues. I'm being told to leave or move when I have a right to be in the seat.
They're asking you to follow. We don't have you on the labor list. We're not on this list. This is the labor list.
Can you show me where the K's are? And show me that my name's not on there?
Yeah, look for your name.
All right, so at this point, I haven't said her name once, except to the kids that I asked if they knew my significant other when I was asking the ushers, the student helpers, and the guy from outside was standing 5 feet from me. That was the only time that I had mentioned her name, and I refused to mention her name again because I don't want to get her in trouble. So there was no need to. So I asked to see the list, and this is what happens right after that.
I'm trying to see if
Your partner's here, Marlena.
Yep.
But not you.
You guys caught that, right? Like they knew her name the whole time. They knew that I had a significant other that worked at the school. I can only imagine, knew that the email was legitimate. There's only two ways that she would have known who she was, is that the guy from outside overheard me talking to the students, the ushers that were helping me find seating in the beginning, even though he asked me who my significant other, maybe he just wanted to clarify. Or the other scenario would be that Gary, when he talked to her multiple times, trying to kick me out, that she remembered that she had a staff member email her about a significant other being added to the list. So she knew the situation, and she let this persist this long after being involved in it multiple times, seeing it. She was watching the whole thing. She was standing in the front. I was only 5 rows back. There wasn't that many people in there. I don't know if I've said this. There's empty seats everywhere. There's 5 empty seats next to me. There's one to me. I'm one in from the aisle, and there's 3 next to me. There's seats behind me that are empty and seats in front of me that are empty. This isn't a packed arena. They don't need the seats. They're just trying to control me. So just take that into consideration when you're watching the next video.
So why was it that I have...
Because it's only for members.
So I would have had to have sat in a different spot than her.
Yes.
Okay, so that could have been portrayed to me in a non-hostile way.
Let me, the people that are in charge are the security, and Gary, they're the ones who are responsible for all of this.
Yeah.
I'm only responsible for union members.
I totally understand that.
And so...
My understanding was that I would be on that list. That's what it said on here. So when I was met with hostility, because I have a Shahid button on my bag, I was met with hostility outside, told I couldn't come in.
So you need to suggest you work with her, follow her directions.
I mean, I'll move because I'm not on that, but that's what I asked for when he first came over to me. I asked for that, and I said, if my name's not on it, I'll be more than happy to move. And he did not want to come over and show me that. But I have an email.
That's one of the members.
I have an email. So I had every right to believe my name was on the list. It literally says, your name will be on the list.
That's because that's for me, and that was for
It has for my partner, my name and me. Your name will be on the list.
your name. I didn't say your names. I didn't say plural.
So that's it. That's her excuse. I misread the email that said, hey, can you put me and my significant other on the list? And the reply is, your name will be on the list. I misread that because if it was what I thought it would say your names are on the list. Like that's the way she wanted to play it. And it didn't, like, the attitude didn't really click until after, and I went back and listened to it. I'm like, wow, you were part of this too. Like, I wonder what Gary told her, that I was conspiring to cause a disturbance and that it was her duty to help him conspire against me. I mean, this is a union rep doing undemocratic things. That's really upsetting. It really bothers me to think that she was part of this, trying to kick me out nonsense, when she knew the whole time that I had every right to think that I was able to sit in that section, when she could have come over and explained the situation to me, explain that she may have miscommunicated in the email or whatever the case is. But to sit there and then accuse me of misreading the email like it's my fault, I mean, unreal. I mean, she takes ownership for the miscommunication. And I do, and I get up and leave because my name isn't on the list, even though it was very clear that it should have been and that I had every right to believe it was. It wasn't. And I told them that if they proved my name wasn't on the list, I would gladly get up and move. And I did. And you'll see that in this next clip.
So why don't you try to work it out with Gary?
Again, a miscommunication that I had every right.
I take responsibility for the miscommunication, but I'm going to ask you to follow their directions because your name
Do
is...
you think that I should leave because of this, though? I should be kicked out?
If their directions, what you have...
There's a name, we could have a disappear.
No, I'll leave the section. That's fine. I'll leave the section.
That's what I asked you initially.
But I asked you for proof because she just said she'll own up to the miscommunication.
All I am saying is that you cannot be in this section, and I gave you the option to go to another section. Not even you can go to it. All I'm asking.
So I did. I got up and walked away. I could have engaged further. I didn't want to. I mean, I could have not the challenging him but just making him understand that, like, there was no reason to be hostile with me. I wasn't being hostile. I guess you could, if from his perspective, I was being defiant. Yeah, because you were bullying me and you came up and told me to leave. Did you question every single person that was sitting in that section if they had a right to be there? No, you singled me out because your guy out front singled me out. And he told you to watch me. And you came up and you just harassed me for no reason. And when I wouldn't bow down to your power, you harassed me more and more, called the cops on me, called security on me. Because there are, in the end of that clip, you can hear the cops. They were walking down the aisle to come remove me as I stood up and moved away. I didn't even notice them until I turned around as I was, like, walking up the aisle. And I was like, oh, wow, I was actually about to be physically removed. But just a couple random little tidbits. I thought it was crazy when I asked her, would I have had to have sit in a different section if I would have came with her? She's like, she would have been allowed to sit in this section, but would I have to have sat in a different section? And she said, yeah. I mean, how irrational do you have to be to, like, not see how ridiculous that sounds? Like, you need to be right. So no matter what, you're going to be right. And you're going to just say ridiculous things. And you're just going to stand by it. I mean, like, that's a little Trumpian, don't you think? To tell me that I would have to sit in a different section than my significant other. Again, empty seats everywhere. Public forum. There's zero reason to be pestering me other than a button on my bag. And me standing my ground and not giving in to your power. So that's the takeaway from this video. Don't let people like this bully you. Don't get mad, don't get angry, and definitely don't do anything threatening, but stand your ground. Know your rights. There is a law in this state, Bagley-Keene open meetings law. It literally allows anybody in California to go to any public forum or meeting that a public official holds, and they cannot be blocked due to political affiliation. Non-credentialed and credentialed press are allowed to film. there was a lot of things that they were laws that they were attempting to break. So eventually I did move to the back in a different section, and I did film the end of it, which I'll cover in a different video. Just really frustrating and upsetting stuff done from the crowd who were supposed to be so-called Democrats. But yeah, so that's the situation with Pelosi's staff. It's frustrating. So again, I think I said it earlier in the video, I am now a much stronger advocate for Shahid Buttar, her opponent in the 2020 for the California 12 seat. He's an amazing Muslim American constitutional lawyer who's been fighting for social justice for a very long time. And he's a super, super progressive democratic socialist, literally the same platform as Bernie. I would really look into him and advocate for him if you're on that spectrum of progressive. So it's something that needs to happen to get these powerful authoritarian figures out of office. This was just completely uncalled for. And yeah, but I hope you guys, I truly appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the videos that I have up. Please like, subscribe if you like this video. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer or converse with anyone. So please have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks.